Welcome to episode 93 of Central Intelligence Cinema. Today we are back covering the latest spy TV film and book intel, so let's get into it, shall we? Take it away, Pierce.
Beg your pardon, forgot to knock.
Welcome to the CIC, initiating security clearance.
My name is Napoleon Solo. Bond. James Bond.
Natasha Romanoff.
Ethan Hunt.
Felix Leiter.
Elsa Faust. Identity confirmed.
Now, pay attention, 007.
Welcome to Central Intelligence Cinema, a podcast dedicated to spy movies and secret agent pop culture.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Do you expect me to talk?
I'm in the middle of an interrogation. This moron is giving me everything.
Yeah, baby!
Special agent, you're not having a very special day, are you?
But remember, nothing ever goes according to plan.
Tom, what do you think you're doing?
Keeping the British hand up, sir. The state will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Recording from an undisclosed location, it's a Central Intelligence Cinema podcast. I'm Jason Greenberg, and with me, as always, Ben Esslinger.
Thank you, Jason. And welcome back to the CIC, the spy movie podcast that recently screwed up their Apple Music algorithm by listening to Lana Del Rey back to back to back to back. How you doing,
That was
Jason?
dumb. I'm doing all right.
I know. I don't know why I ruined my algorithm like that. It's just foolish.
It's a lot of Lana Del Rey.
It is. It's a lot of Lana. Sometimes you need a little Lana. Sometimes you need a lot of Lana.
I can't think of a time I've ever actually needed a lot of Lana.
Well, I don't know. I beg to differ. I've had some nights, Jason, some cold nights where I just needed to cuddle in with some Lana.
Now, I have had a few Alanis-filled nights, but I don't know about Lana-filled nights.
Yes. Yeah, no, I haven't had Alanis-filled nights for, I don't know, let's see, about 20 years, 30 years now. 30 years. Yeah. Hopefully I don't get fed too much Taylor Swift after listening to Lana so many times. But anyway, I digress. But yes, today we are back with a brand new dossier filled with bits and bobs of intel for you. All sorts of little things to talk about today.
Little spy things.
Spy things. Yes. Yes, indeed. But first, Jason, we've got listener mail.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Listener mail is back. Let's just get into it. This coming from an undisclosed listener who writes, Dear CIC, as an avid listener of your podcast, I would like to say first, I loved your review on Black Widow. Oh, thank you very much.
I suggested that one, by the way. Just saying.
Hey, there you go. Good work, Jason. Yes, it was a very entertaining episode. Great work. I guess to get to the meat and potatoes of this email, hey, this person really is listening to us.
They are.
I'd like to make a request. I know that you review all spy movies, in caps, all caps, spy movies. And I'd like to suggest one of the best spy movies that I noticed has gone unreviewed. That movie being Cars 2. While you may be thinking the first Cars is not a spy movie, the second one is by all definitions of the genre a full-fledged spy movie that I think the two of you would have a great time reviewing. Thank you. Ka-chow. So there you have it.
Okay.
I guess the gauntlet's been thrown down. Are we going to we're going to review an animated movie? I mean, I guess we have to now. The Tens have deemed it necessary.
I mean, we do like to listen to the Tens. We do invite them to do this every single episode. So
Indeed. And by the way, thank you so much for that email, listener.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what to call this person. Agent Ka-chow?
That should do for now, I suppose.
Ka-chow!
Good job.
But yes, we will look into that for you. And hey, tens of listeners, if you have a request or just want to drop us a line or some intel or maybe just a good recipe for soup, there are so many ways to get a hold of us, which is weird given we're a spy agency, but I digress. On email, we are cicdeaddrop@gmail.com. On Instagram, we are Central Intelligence Cinema separated by underscores. And on Blue Sky, we are cicspypod.bsky.social. And there's a whole slew of other socials we're on, and you can find the links to all of them at the bottom of the show description of this and every episode that we have. So please get in touch, make requests. We'll do the best we can. with what we have at our disposal.
With what little talent and ability we actually have.
That's right. But one last thing. We got, Jason, I'm bringing it back. Shout out!
Shout outs! Yeah. Shout outs, baby.
But this is a really random one. Shout out to Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Yeah, we had a massive uptick in listenership out there.
Outstanding.
Or, Jason, it might have just been that one of the dedicated 10s was out there on holiday. It's really hard to know sometimes. But regardless, hello.
Hello.
And, I really should have looked up how to say hello in Vietnamese. I apologize.
I was just thinking the same thing. I think they speak French out there. How about bonjour?
Bonjour.
Although maybe they don't want that with all of that, imperialist, all that other nonsense. Maybe they're less. I don't know. I don't know
Either. Maybe we should just stick to what we do and maybe move on to some intel.
Yeah, just say we said hello. We'll say hello. Hello.
Hello. All right. Should we do some intel?
Yes.
Okay.
Looking for a news story?
Impress me. Transmitting CIC Intel dossier.
They'll print anything these days.
Okay, intel. Well, we're going to kick it off with some TV stuff. Oh, wow, Jason. I cannot believe we're even talking about this right now. But Citadel. Citadel is back.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Citadel Season 2 is actually happening and premieres on May 6th. Did you see the trailer for this?
Oh, no.
I mean, you didn't miss too terribly much, but I will say it featured a gun-wielding Stanley Tucci, which was kind of fun to see.
Okay.
That being said, the trailer, I am an editor by trade in my civilian identification. When my cover identification is I am a video editor. And man, not well cut together trailer. I'm just saying. It's just not. I've seen better things. But nonetheless, Stanley Tucci holding a gun is fun. But given how awful season 1 was and how I only made it through, I think, like 3 episodes before I called it a day, I'm not super jazzed. Honestly, it kind of feels like a flex from Prime. Like, hey, we've got so much money, we're willing to blow another, how many million to produce a second season of this.
Well, and I mean, I guess it's possible it was more popular everywhere else but here.
This is true. It could have had an international effect. I mean, I will say that I forget which country it was, because, Citadel, for those who don't know, Citadel was this idea that was dreamed up by the Russo brothers, and they handed it off in other countries to different directors to handle sort of adjacent chapters of Citadel to different directors. And some of the ones actually from the other countries were much better than the American version was.
Yeah, that was my understanding. So
yeah. So maybe that's why they were able to continue going. And it is funny too, the way that it's pitched in the trailer. They're like, all new season, all new characters, all new story. Like they really try and sell you on the fact that, look, we realize we got it wrong the first time.
So we're trying again with Stanley Tucci.
Right. Well, what's funny is it's still the same actors, though. That's like they still show Stanley Tucci, they still show Richard Madden, and they still show the girl. I forget what her name is. But they still show all the same people, but they try and sell it like it's something brand new. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if anybody's even going to. I don't know if I have the energy or the bandwidth to take any free time to watch this.
I couldn't even get through episode 1. So unless this is Citadel season 2 and they're all cars, I don't think I have any interest.
I just know that in season 1, the moment they got to the skiing, there was like this ski scene that like was done so badly. I think they tried to like CG like skis coming out of the guy's boots or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it was really bad. So
do you remember with the days when CGI was so new that it looked like shit, but you didn't care?
Yeah.
You know?
I almost yearn for those days where it was really just about imagining what if, right?
Right. Well, but I mean, you know, it harkens back to the end of the blue screen, green screen era where there were some companies that could turn out quality stuff using the exact same technology that other companies were not turning out quality stuff. You know, like Industrial Light and Magic. They figured out what all the pitfalls of that were. And of course they had, you know, Lucas bankrolling the whole thing. But I mean, you could tell the quality of the movie by the special effects back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think CGI has become such a thing that you can buy cheap.
Yeah.
And you can buy really, really good.
Well, and it's such a crutch now. It's not, I feel like back then there was still this effort to be kind of ingenious about how you use it and like just kind of being scrappy about it, you know?
Yes.
And focusing more about how real it looks or how authentic it feels when you're watching it. Like where now it's just like, well, make the machine do it. You know, we're in the age of AI, and it's just like make the machine do it and do it for cheaper, so we don't have to pay somebody to do it.
Well, they stopped using it for special effects and started using it for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got tattoos on her arm. We'll cover it up in post.
Right.
Oh, we can't afford to fly to Paris to film this actual scene. Fine. We could stick the Eiffel Tower anywhere in this normal scene in Cleveland. Right.
Right.
So,
we'll just use sky replacement. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so it started becoming this tool where it was like, and I imagine it probably does save you money in the long run to just be able to film somewhere and have it all removed later.
Right.
But you do lose that authenticity of being there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I mean, you always hear about the triangle as far as making anything in Hollywood, which is like speed versus quality versus price.
Right.
And you can never have all three. You know, you're always going to suffer in one of those categories if you omit something. So it's like you can make something fast and cheap, but it ain't going to be good. Or you can make something, you know, or you can focus on quality and speed, but it's going to cost you a fortune.
Right.
So it's just one of those things.
But hey, I feel like no matter how good the special effects are, Citadel Season 2, which is not Cars, is still going to suck. So that is my unbiased and will never be actually proven theory right now.
That's right. All right, moving on. Next up, Legacy of Spies, the upcoming series on BBC and MGM Plus. We talked about it a little bit in our last Intel report, but it sounds like shooting is now underway for that. Just as a reminder, Matthew McFadden, who played Mr. Darcy on Pride and Prejudice, stars as George Smiley, and then we've got Charlie Hunnam in the cast, and it's based on the John le Carré novel, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. They've announced further casting now, including Dan Stevens.
Woo!
Yeah, who's in Downton Abbey. And if you don't know, Dan Stevens his name was toted around there for a little while as far as like a potential new Bond. He sort of was kind of probably aged out of that running at this point, but I was really happy to see him added to it. And he's playing somebody called Bill Hayden, who is a, quote, brilliant and enigmatic circus insider. So,
of course he is.
Of course he is. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. There's a lot of steam behind this one. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out.
Yeah.
But that's about all I got for TV. But now we got some pretty big movie intel to talk about now. First and foremost, Jack Ryan, Ghost War. We've got both the teaser trailer and then we had the full trailer drop for that. I thought it was interesting that it doesn't look like we're going to get a theatrical release. It's set to drop on May 20th, and it is rated R. But yeah, I'm not crazy about the fact. I mean, I know it's a movie based on a TV show series, but we've had that before. I mean, maybe it's just because of the years that we're living in now. Because I guess I was just thinking about like the X-Files. When the X-Files movie came out, they still had a theatrical release for it. But then again, the X-Files movie came out 25 years ago, so maybe 30.
I don't think you're doing apples to apples here, buddy.
Probably not. Probably not. So nonetheless, I wish it would have had a theatrical release, but
I imagine you'll get your wish, because they're going to probably do a Fathom Events kind of thing out here in the U.S. where the 2 nights only, bum 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 bum, and you could go watch it in the screen there. But I don't think this would have enough legs for them to bother putting it in the theaters for 30 to 45 days.
I suppose not. I also just feel like there's not a lot of promotion going on for this. I almost feel like I get the feeling that maybe John Krasinski just sort of willed this thing into existence, but he doesn't have the full financial backing of Amazon to like really promote it into something bigger, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like it's in the right place where it needs to be. Amazon has a lot of success with just releasing stuff on Amazon.
That's true.
And then that's 100%. They're all their money, all their people buying into Prime to get into it.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I will go to see movies in theaters till the day I die, unless they're all closed by that point in time. But at the end of the day, I've kind of come around to this sort of, if it's not a super visual director or, big action PC, large scale kind of thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like being able to sit at home in my shorts and not have to, I can pause it when I need to go pee if it's really long, right?
That's fair. That's very fair.
I have a gigantic TV that captures most of the movie going experience with a really nice surround sound system. So,
well, there you go.
This is not a movie. If they were putting this in theatrical release,
yes,
I would not pay the theatrical price to go watch this, knowing I get it on Prime for my normal monthly Prime fee 30 days later. It's just not enough of a draw for me. Now, if it was directed by Christopher Nolan, I would have paid IMAX prices to go see it, because I know what he can do with an IMAX camera.
That's true.
Also, I would have been curious to see what he did with the Jack Ryan movie, considering what it is. But
that's fair.
It's not cheap to go to movies anymore.
Yeah, it's expensive now.
And so, unless it's something, big, or on the flip side, it's so small that you want to support the people who are making it.
Exactly.
Now, that's a different story, too. And this one falls right in the middle. It's the Goldilocks. Not too big. It's not too small. It's got a lot of action, but not too much action. It's good for a big screen TV. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
I'm getting off my soapbox now.
Well, just for the tens, the little synopsis that I got from Rotten Tomatoes said, in this new film, Jack Ryan is reluctantly thrust back into the world of espionage when an international covert mission unravels a deadly conspiracy, forcing him to confront a rogue black ops unit, and the clock is ticking, operating in real time with lives on the line and the threat escalating at every turn. Jack reunites with battle-tested CIA operative Mike November, played once again by Michael Kelly, and former CIA boss James Greer, played again by Wendell Pierce. Their combined experience, the only edge they have against an enemy who knows their every move. Backed by an unlikely new partner, razor-sharp MI6 officer Emma Marlowe, played by Sienna Miller, Jack and the team navigate a treacherous web of betrayal, facing a past they thought was long put to rest, making this the most personal, high-stakes mission any of them have ever faced. So,
bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum. Now, I will say, I thought that the full-length trailer was really cool.
Me too.
I got good vibes from the full length trailer, like the boat stuff where the boat's crashing into the bigger boat, and then that helicopter like shooting into the building was like a cross between True Lies vibes and Mission Impossible 3 vibes. So I'm okay with that. So I think it looks good. I did have a nice chuckle when there's a moment in the trailer when Jack is walking down the street. He's got like an earpiece in and he's talking to Mike November, and Mike is talking about how he's happy to be back in the field. And then Jack calls him out for looking directly at him. And then right after that, he goes, "You might as well have just touched your earpiece while you're at it." And it was like, Such a nice little, like, it's a very Bond, any Bond fan will like immediately like hear that and start laughing. A very Casino Royale kind of moment. But I'm excited to see what happens with this one. I think it'll be good.
Me too. I'm upset they stopped doing the TV show. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, it was going great.
Yeah, I don't understand why they kind of slowed that down. I don't know if maybe it's a thing where, John Krasinski wanted to have time to do other things or what's...
He and his wife are a bit of a powerhouse couple in the old Hollywood.
They are indeed. They are indeed. I just think that... Yeah, I just think that Jack Ryan in and of itself is such an easily translatable to TV character that you could, just recast and like, it'd be so nice to have a show like that just sticks around for a while that,
Well, we don't get a whole lot. I guess it's kind of its own little subgenre, right? The reluctant spy.
Yeah.
Right? But Jack Ryan's character has always been in my mind, the best reluctant spy.
Oh, yeah.
Because... he's literally never meant to be a spy.
Right.
But he doesn't complain about it along the way.
He's just so smart.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I understand why I have to do this. Okay, fine. I'm just going to do it. Right. But I've always thought that this was a much better thing for episodic TV than it would be for a movie.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I've seen every Jack Ryan movie that's ever come out. And the only good ones in my mind were obviously The Hunt for Red October because awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Clear and Present Danger was the only one that I liked with Harrison Ford. All the rest were kind of garbage.
Yeah. And I think too, just like a lot of times book series tend to be really good for TV.
Well, especially when your average Jack Ryan book is 650 pages long.
Right. I mean,
there's a lot of shit in them.
Right. And I mean, I think about too, like the reason Slow Horses is so good. That's a book series as well. And I don't think you could make that into a movie either, like at least
not if you want good character development and stuff like Slow Horses. And I think even Jack Ryan to an extent, they're intelligent enough books that you can't kind of short shrift them with a whole 2 hours crammed in adventure kind of thing. You really just have to let the characters breathe a little bit.
Yeah, completely. And then we've got one other thing in the spy movie news docket here. Oh man, I am so excited to talk about this, Jason. Wild Horse 9.
Yes.
Wild Horse 9. This is such a out of the blue, did not see it coming. This trailer fell out of nowhere and it looks amazing. It looks amazing.
It does.
It is a spy comedy featuring Sam Rockwell and John Malkovich. The write-up about this movie states, shortly before the 1973 Chilean coup, CIA agents Chris, played by John Malkovich, and Lee, played by Sam Rockwell, are dispatched from Santiago to Easter Island by their bureau chief, MJ, played by Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Amongst the island's iconic statues, and as the longtime partners wrestle with their dark past and present conspiracies, Chris's newfound bond with a pair of rebellious students threatens to send everyone's trip to this remote paradise sideways. The two students are played by Mariana Di Girolamo and Aylin Salas. And it's set to release November 6th of this year. It looks so funny and so interesting and so well put together. And I mean, it's Sam Rockwell and John Malkovich.
Right?
What more can you ask for?
Well, you see, this is the movie I was just talking about. I will go see this in the theater to support a movie like this being made at all.
Yeah, I mean it's got a pulpy kind of vibe to it. Like it's historical, which makes it interesting.
Yep.
This is going to be a banger.
Oh, no doubt.
I'm putting 20
witty dialogue,
on it right now.
Gun battles, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi being an asshole. Who doesn't want any of that?
I know. It all speaks good. That one's definitely one to watch this November for sure, since we still got at least 3 years probably before we get another Bond movie.
We're going to get another Bond movie?
Yes, Jason, as a matter of fact. And speaking of that, Bond intel. Yes, we do have some Bond intel. We don't have any movie Bond intel.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, but we have Bond intel. First thing in the Bond intel is the Young Bond series of novels are set to be adapted into audio dramas and released in September of this year. Big Finish Productions is kicking it off, adapting Charlie Higson's novel Silverfin. According to mi6hq.com, the series will be adapted as a cinematic full-cast audio drama, and Higson will be involved as a consultant on the project.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Yeah.
How do you have a cinematic audio drama? I'm going to allow the tens to think about that as you finish, but please continue.
A cinematic audio drama. That is an excellent point, Jason.
Please continue.
I digress. There are to be 16 30-minute episodes released digitally, followed by a special collector's CD edition. So definitely something would be nice. Like that'll be something to listen to going back and forth to work, I imagine.
Sure. And if any of the tens of listeners happen to listen to this, please feel free to write in and tell us how you get a cinematic audio drama. I'm really curious what that means.
That's right. Today's CIC challenge is describe to me how you get a cinematic audio drama.
Thank you.
And speaking of Mr. Higson, we're also getting a new full-length adult James Bond novel titled King Zero to be released in September of this year. So we're getting a new Bond novel.
Nice.
Yeah. According to a blurb again on mi6hq.com, King Zero starts with a murdered agent in the Saudi desert. Only a traitor could have known enough to bring him down, but even James Bond can't guess at the secret that was worth killing him to keep. As Bond follows the trail across the globe, he doesn't realize the countdown has already begun, and hiding in the shadows is a man with more power than he could ever have imagined. Vague, but, hey, new book. It should be good to chew into and keep us occupied until something happens with the movie.
There's going to be a James Bond movie?
There is going to be a James Bond movie, but not yet. Just not yet. But also to keep us busy, Jason.
Yes.
007 First Light, the new video game, is nearing its release, coming out in May. And we've got more to chew on from that. Game.io has recently released the new official song for the video game called First Light, which is sung by...
Who was it sung by, Ben? Who was it sung by, Ben?
It's sung by Lana Del Rey.
Hey!
I guess we're all going to be getting a lot of Lana Del Rey for a little while, I suppose.
Yeah,
or at least
Bond,
at least Bond fans, anyway. So yeah, it's written by Lana Del Rey with the help of a longtime Bond composer David Arnold. So that boded really well, and honestly, I've really liked the song. I think it's really good. Although some of the lyrics, are a little on the nose. I wrote some down here in my notes just so that the tens know what some of these lyrics are. It says, "Can't say I'm surprised to see you running towards the sun like a moth to a flame. People try and stop you. All the fates just watch you, dying just to know whether you'll play your life like a game. Will you play?"
Is that, you suppose that was intentional?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
They might as well have just said circles and boxes and X's around, pushing your buttons all over town.
You could have been on the songwriting
How do
team.
you know I wasn't?
That's true.
They came back to that and said, no, Greenberg, that's a little too on the nose. Polish it up a little bit. Make it a little more vague.
I do feel like, I wonder if that was one of those things where the producers of the game came back and were like, we really need to tie these lyrics into the game. Like, really, really tie them into the game.
I don't really hate it that much.
I don't hate it either. Like, in the song, it plays all right.
It's clever enough. It's clever enough to give it a pass. Now, if they do it on the next James Bond game, then we need to punch somebody in the face.
I mean, Lana Del Rey is a good enough singer that she sells it. I'm okay with it. Honestly, I thought that this was probably the best Bond song I've heard in a number of movies, to be honest.
It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly beats the crap out of Sam Smith's song from Spectre.
Oh, you mean that banger?
Yeah, that one.
Considering where that song ranked in our listing of the best Bond songs, it's not really much of a bar to have to get over.
This is true. This is very true. And going along with this, Jason, Game.io has also released a few new clips from the game, including the title sequence reveal, which is a very Daniel Craig era title sequence.
Yeah.
Although the dancing women look kind of look like these weird demons with their glowy eyes. That was a little weird. The dancing.
Yeah.
girls.
I also wasn't terribly fond of the fact that they weren't obviously naked, and I realize that's just me being me, but I mean,
well,
we've got
listen.
like decades worth of this. Why can't we bump? It's got a mature rating already. Come on.
I know. I mean, we're traditionalists here. We are Bond traditionalists. I mean, stick with tradition.
It's not because I want to see naked women. I'm just a very traditional Bond guy.
That is 100% correct. Me too. But nonetheless, I thought the imagery was cool. It did feel a little, well, it felt very derivative. I don't know. I guess it's a video game. So with a video game, you don't want to stray too far away from the source material, I suppose. So maybe they're just trying to, reel in all the Craig fans and just kind of keep it on brand and what have you. I mean, it's fine. It is. I liked it. It got me excited for the game.
Yeah.
I will say too, the game itself and all the videos I've seen for it look really awesome. Like, I love some of the elements that they're going to include in this game, like some of the covert type of stuff. There was a clip in one of the clips I saw, which I thought was really funny, where Bond is walking into some sort of building and he gives himself like a cover name as he's talking to I think a maid or something in this building he's in, and he says so and such and such name, and he says penetration inspection or something like that. I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm here to I was like, well, we can't show naked dancing girls, but we can be a
double entendre all day long.
That's right. So you got that going for him. And
I'm excited for this game, but I was a little disappointed when I looked it up. It's pretty pricey.
Oh yeah, it's very expensive. I mean, I just sort of assume that's what all video games are going for, but I've also noticed too that it's on the high end, and then on top of it too, I think they're really trying to go after some of these Bond guys who are in the 1% club, who, buy all the prestige. They're the ones buying the, $20,000 chess sets that's on 007.com and stuff like that, because they've got these levels of the game. Like, you can buy a fancy version of the game that has a gold controller or whatever, all that kind of business.
They do that. That's a gaming model. I mean, I'm just saying that for the base game to be $70, and I don't even think it has a multiplayer or any kind of facet to it like that. I was anticipating this thing was going to come in digitally at 50 or something like that, which I would have bought it. But at this point, I do want to buy it. I do want to play it.
Yeah. But
I know if I wait long enough, it'll end up being nothing on Xbox, on Game Pass, or it'll come down to half price and then I'll buy it then.
Yeah.
Unless this is one of those things that's hard for me to pay the money for it.
Yeah.
Unless it gets killer reviews across the board.
Yeah.
And nobody's really given any reviews to it that I've been able to see. So we'll see what happens. But it looks gorgeous. I'm sure it's going to be very fun to play. I just feel like maybe you're right about that. Maybe they figure their Bond demographic can throw $70 at a game that they may or may not like. I could. I just won't. But
yeah. I mean, in the old days, Jason, I would have probably just thrown the money at it. But these days, times are tight, man. The CIC's down to the wire in terms of petty cash, and I'm not even that big of a gamer. So, will I buy it? Probably. Will I spend the full amount for it? Probably. But I'll probably do it reluctantly.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it'll do garbagey and you'll be able to pick it up at half price in a month.
We shall see. We shall see. And then we got just a couple tiny little bits and bobs of intel here at the end. One thing I did want to mention, the great online archive of James Bond photos known as thunderballs.org, which is headed off by our good friend Marty McKillop. He just released a fantastic new update on their A View to a Kill section. So I urge our tens of listeners, if you're into checking out behind the scenes photos and set photos of James Bond movies, and if you're a fan of A View to a Kill, it's a great addition to an already amazing collection of photos and what have you. He's got call sheets now. He's got scans of call sheets from the set. He's got there were some great pictures of Grace Jones. There were some great pictures of Raj and Christopher Walken laughing together. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Wow. I was going to ask, is there 100% more Walken than there was before?
There is. Ooh. Oh my. Ooh. But yes, go over there and check out thunderballs.org. Great. It's a great site. And then one final little thing. It's a little belated, but I have to say, happy 80th birthday to Timothy Dalton, the man.
Woo, Timmy
Tim. Making it to 80. That alone is just an accomplishment. But that's about everything in the dossier for now. We're just keeping it kind of short and sweet today.
I do have one last thing I'd like to add to all of our tens of listeners, and it kind of goes along with the whole. Did you know that they're making another Bond movie?
Oh, really, Jason? Please, do tell.
I just heard that recently, and I don't know if we have any of our tens of listeners out there that are. Well, I'm going to guess our new recent person. Undisclosed, I guess we're calling them Agent Kachow, is probably a bit of a Marvel fan. But currently on the Disney Pluses,
yes,
there is a show that's called Daredevil Born Again.
Yes.
Which is a follow-up series of the original Daredevil series from Netflix.
Great show,
all on its own. There's a gentleman in the movie or in the show named Ben who plays the right-hand man for the Kingpin. And I would just like to throw him out to all of the important people at Amazon who do, Bond movies that Artie Fruscian, who is the artist that plays Ben, I think would be a phenomenal James Bond, and you should fucking hire him just based on my recommendation alone.
I'm down. I'll take that there. I mean, I don't even know what the guy looks like. I'd have to look him up.
Oh my gosh! You go and you look at him, and he's got the jaw, he's got the hair, he's got the killer's eyes.
What's this feller's name again?
Artie, Arty, Fruscian, Frousshan. Okay,
let me look. Yeah, he could do it. Now I know who you're talking about.
If you watch this show...
Yeah, he could absolutely be Bond.
This guy, all he does is walk around in 2- and 3-piece suits carrying a gun and looking like a badass. But he can act.
This is true. That's a pretty good shout, actually. Because, I've seen him in the show, and he's basically like evil Bond.
Well, no, I think he's mercenary Bond. I don't think he's evil at all.
Mercenary Bond, yeah. Right,
the character's got some nuance and depth, and he plays it very, very well.
Yeah, that's a good shout. But please, tens, if you want, go check it out and get back to us. Tell us what you think of that shout. I think it's a good shout.
In fact, if you guys feel like it, why don't you post out to us who you think should be the next James Bond? And it can't be anybody who's been fielded for the last 15 years because they're disqualified. They're all too old. But anybody who's out there that's relatively new, give us a shout. See who you think it is. It might make for an interesting bit of conversation later.
Indeed. And give us something that's not just the three that they're bandying about right now. Give us some interesting ones.
Who you think, in your mind, from the people that you've watched and that you enjoy, who you think would be a good James Bond and why. It's sort of like a homework assignment you don't have to turn in.
Hey, that's the best.
Extra credit, if you will.
Indeed. Who knows? Might even have to, send somebody a CIC sticker or a keychain or something if they follow the assignment out. I've been known to bribe our listeners in the past, in years past. Don't tempt me to do it again. So, I believe that is. everything in the dossier for now, unless you got anything else in your bag over there, Jason.
No, sir, that's all I have for now.
All righty. Well, I guess with that, I'm Ben.
And I'm Jason.
And the CIC will return with more missions, more martinis,
And more mayhem.